The views and opinions expressed on Slam Radio PH are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Wusa Studios, its management, other hosts, or advertisers. The shows produced by Wusa Studios can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and might include strong themes, images, sex, or language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello.
Hey, yo!
Why can't I hear anything?
Hey.
This is weird.
I'm good.
All right, whatever. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is...
To a blazing start.
I know. I mean, welcome back. It is episode 36 of Slam Radio PH. My name is Aaron Ataide, the managing editor for SlamOnlinePH.com. To my right, you have Mr. Nico Ramos.
Yep.
And all the way to my far right, you have the one and only real Robbie Raya. All right, we have a lot of basketball to talk about today, of course. We start out the show with the shout-outs. And I would like to shout a shout-out to Kobe Bryant.
Ooh.
I'll start it out. Kobe Bryant. Not only did he make it to the All-Star game as a starter, despite campaigning for Damian Lillard, he had a really awesome picture with Meryl Streep.
Dude,
I saw that.
That was badass, man. I don't know what that was.
Him, Meryl Streep, and
Fitty. I saw that was awesome. That was pretty cool. I thought it was cool.
That happened earlier today, which was pretty much the only highlight from the Laker game.
Yeah. I actually saw the start of the game. I was watching it, and just to make all Laker fans feel a lot better about themselves, this is what their starting lineup was. They had Kendall Marshall, Joni Meeks, Nick Young, the R. Kelly, and Pau Gasol. I was like, hey, Pau's got a lot of D-League friends, doesn't he?
R. Kelly, though.
They lost to the Knicks, yeah. I mean, who would cheer for that team right now?
I know.
They're sad as fuck.
Hey, but at least Kobe got a nice photo.
Yeah.
At least Kobe got a nice photo.
And at least he's still traveling with the team.
True.
Still getting some free food.
That's true.
And you know, with all the luck that has gone LA's way throughout the years, you might get a good draft pick next year.
I doubt it. They'll probably get like a good 7-game run.
They'll probably trade Ryan Kelly for like some potential all-star.
Yeah, they'll work something out.
I am under no illusions that the Lakers are the dirtiest trading team in the world.
In the world?
Well,
anyway,
outside the Philippines. Ding.
Shots fired. This
I want to shout out and keep it in the NBA.
Oh, nice.
This is the only time I'm doing it. I will never do this ever again.
Hold on. Somebody says we're offline. Offline ba tayo, papi?
Are we on now?
No, we're online. Okay.
All right. Okay. Now that we're back and we never went anywhere.
Okay.
All right. Click refresh to whoever's watching. But I want to shout out. First time I'm ever gonna do this. I'll probably never do this again.
Oh my God.
I know where this is going.
I want to shout out to the Boston Celtic fans.
Wow, Mr. Robbie Raya.
For giving a well-deserved standing ovation, incredible welcome back home, and those tribute videos to Big Ticket, Kevin Garnett, and Wheelchair Paul Pierce.
There's still hate.
I'm not saying I love them, but I will say this. Celtic fans and Laker fans will never like each other, but you have to respect each other because true Celtic fans, more than anybody else, will stick with their team.
Yes.
Will stick with their team through ups, through downs, and they could have booed Kevin and Paul Pierce, but they didn't. They gave them the welcome they deserved with true understanding of what those two guys have done for that franchise. Paul Pierce most especially, and it was just fitting. I think that you know it's something that sports fans should learn about, and it was an incredible moment for not only for Celtic fans. I gotta say, as a Laker fan, I kind of teared up a little bit there. It was the most confusing time probably of my life because I didn't know if I wanted the Celtics to win or if I wanted Paul Pierce to win.
Oh, yeah,
But-
that must be very frustrating for you.
But either way, I was like, what a beautiful moment. What a beautiful moment. And may we never ever do that to Dwight Howard in LA.
Really?
I hope
You-
they boo Dwight to shit.
Well, Dwight never got you guys a championship.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah.
And that's why Paul and Kevin Garnett deserved what they got in Boston. I said it, never say it again.
Okay.
That was actually my shout out.
Sorry,
Really?
but-
Yes.
Sorry.
Because I was almost tearing up
Oh my God!
kanina. Bukas yung pinto ng room ko. Tapos, nung medyo paluha na ako, sinarado ko yung pinto para walang makakita.
Robbie, ano nangyayari sa'yo? Brother! Huwag kayo magulo! Huwag kayo pumasok sa kwarto!
I've been in the TD Garden a few times for some not so big
Games.
regular season games and huge playoff games. And kahit anong sabihin mo, pareho sila all throughout. Those white drunk guys. Kahit sobrang lasing ng 95% of the crowd there, they know basketball. They appreciate basketball. And what nako-confuse ako with this crowd eh. Kasi Boston, most like 50% of Boston fans would want this team to lose. But
Yes.
when I watch games, they're still cheering for the Celtics. They still want them to win.
Of course. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the same way that I watch the Suns and pisses me off.
Yeah, but this team is going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere. That's
They've
why
jailed Wallace.
Yeah. That's why it confuses me talaga.
Alright.
And what's nice about yung game kanina, Paul Pierce hit a crucial shot in the last 30 seconds. And the fans there cheered when he hit the shot.
Yeah, for two reasons. They wanted to lose. They
Yeah.
realized that they needed the loss for the lottery pick, and they're like, "Hey, it's Paul."
And they were so drunk, they were like, is Paul wearing green? I can't
I
tell.
don't know. He looks like Paul Pierce. He's just fatter. He's just a lot
You
fatter
see
now.
those white guys on the TV screen.
Yeah.
Most of those are fuck drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know some of the, I was watching both the Laker game and a couple days ago I was watching a Boston Celtics game. I don't know half of the players. I was like, who the fuck are these guys?
There's even that one guy on the Nets that I don't know that gets a lot of run.
Like Teletovic?
Yeah. Like I only knew him because I kept seeing the Nets games, and I was
Or
like,
his hair, well-kept hair.
And that
Yeah.
guy is still
Well
out there.
kept. They're very
What-
well kept.
Like, what's their accountant doing on the floor? And then he hits threes, and I was like, all right,
All right,
whatever.
he's a shooter. All right. Well, there's your shout out, ladies and gentlemen. And now we move on in to what happened in the quarterfinals of the PBA Philippine Cup.
Ooh, lots of stuff happening.
There's a lot of shit we can talk
Pero
about right
medyo
now.
gutom na ako eh. Parang gusto ko kumain ng karinderya food.
Ganon.
Pero gusto ko kasama ko yung buong crowd.
Okay, we'll start out with, I guess we'll start out at the top, 1 versus 8. None of us predicted that Alaska and Ginebra would go 2 games.
No, I didn't predict Alaska to make the postseason.
No, I didn't either. We predicted last week that Meralco was gonna be able
I
to get in.
predicted Alaska would make the semis.
Oh yeah,
And hey, I predicted that they wouldn't make the playoffs. So obviously,
But you know
from
the
start of
the difference with the Alaska in the playoffs and Alaska in the eliminations, basically Calvin Abueva
yes,
reverting back to the old beast that he was. But it's the same Calvin Abueva that we saw nung Commissioner's Cup and Philippine Cup last year.
Uh-huh.
And I think yun talaga yung kailangan ng Alaska. Eh. That's a difference. It was night and day. Yung energy ng Alaska when Calvin played with that much gulpe de gula type of energy. Iba talaga eh. Iba yung confidence nila eh.
yun nangyari, yung gulpe de gulat energy ni Calvin, naging gulpe na lang si Calvin.
Nagulpe.
Nagulpe. I mean, is that game against Meralco and the 2 games against Ginebra, ginulpe talaga si Calvin.
right.
And it was shit. It had to come to that.
My favorite part was the double Great Cali finish ni Mark Caguiwa. Di ba yung kay Great Cali yung finishing move niya? Kay Mark Caguiwa, par.
And I think the difference between good Calvin and bad Calvin
Yes.
Well, there's really not a good Calvin, but there's a good for Alaska Calvin and a bad for everybody Calvin.
Yes.
I think Calvin is productive. He's helpful for his team when he's not scared, when he's not afraid. I think in that final game against Meralco, in that first game against Ginebra, I think it got into his head. I mean, that second game against Ginebra, they just got beat by a better team who was on. And there was nothing they could do about that. But all throughout the do or die stages, Calvin was like, you know what? I'm gonna get hit. Titirahin niyo ako. I'm gonna get hurt. And I'm gonna be like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if Calvin really thinks about it, that's how he's gonna be played. I mean, people aren't gonna back away from him anymore. People aren't going to treat him like the special rookie that he is anymore, because that phase is done. I mean, he has to be able to say, now, okay, I'm gonna get hit, I'm gonna hit back.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hustle, and the best way to get back at you is to get an offensive rebound. Is to start a fast break. Is to score a bucket. Dahil mas mapipikon kayo pag makashoot ako.
Yun yung point ni Joe Devance when the last time he was here, na medyo okay lang sa kanya pag tinitira siya, but the thing that pisses him off kapag naisahan na siya ni Calvin, 'di ba? Yung pag na offensive rebounder na siya, naagawan.
Because honestly, a lot of the players in the PBA, they do believe that they are better at basketball than Calvin.
Right. And they might be right.
Yeah,
Yes.
They're probably right.
Individually,
Skills-wise.
skill-wise, they are better than Calvin. I mean, we're not saying that Calvin is not a good basketball player, but Calvin is not a great basketball player. I mean, you can't compare him to the likes of like even Joe or shit. I mean, Mark elbowed him in the face 3 times or something like that. Mark is a better individual basketball player than Calvin.
They're more talented.
When Calvin tries to prove that he's a better individual player than the other person, that's when they have problems.
Right.
That if he could just say, no, you know what? I'm gonna get my rebound. You're right. Get my rebound. I'm gonna run down. I'm gonna do a layup or something. Then I'm gonna stick my tongue out. And everybody's pissed off at me. I did the right thing.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're an Alaska fan, you don't have to feel offended. If you're a Calvin Abueva defender, and there are a lot of you guys out there, as there should be. I mean, you have to be the first person to accept that Calvin is not equipped with basketball talent.
Yes.
He's not like a Marshall Lassiter. He's not like a Chris Lutz or a Dondon Ontiveros who have supreme God-given gifts.
Yes.
I mean, they're shooters. They have crazy handles. Calvin's not a shooter. He doesn't have great handles. He's not big.
Yes.
He's not wildly...
Hindi naman siya shooter, di ba?
Right. I mean, but what he has is this incredible motor. He has this outstanding work ethic and this unbelievable angas.
Yes.
And just incredible amounts of hustle that you cannot replace and that you want, because Mark Pingres is the exact same thing.
Yes.
Ping is not talented at all, and Ping would be the first person to tell you. But they get it done because of hustle. And I think that if Calvin, and like what you guys were saying, if Calvin just focuses on that, it will really start to make this Alaska team a whole lot better. And we have to give a lot of credit to Coach Luigi Trillo and his coaching staff.
Yes.
Coach Luigi is a great guy. He's always been a great interview and a very humble guy. But I didn't give him enough respect or credit for him to take that team as far as he did. 1 game away from the semis, but he did. But he did this despite drafting Ryan Buenafe and not using Ryan Buenafe and keeping his score.
You can't use Ryan Buenafe. I mean, dude, the guy's there. He has like 3 meals. I mean, he's there
during the game.
During the game, nagkuneta sila, bacon hotdog siya sa bench.
So, I mean, if you're an Alaska fan, you have to be proud.
Yeah.
You have to be proud of your team.
Did you think that, I mean, when you were watching, right before the start of game 2, were you thinking, puta may tulog Ginebra dito?
No.
I
knew yung super execution ng Alaska naubos na ng game 1 eh. Game 1, iba yung execution nila, yung pasahan. It was quick. It was like they were playing hot potato with a ball. The only thing was, yung hot potato, it was very precise passing. And it led to easy buckets. Pero nahuli sila ng Ginebra. Feeling ko na yung game 1, Alaska played like it was the the finals, Game 7 of a final series, while Ginebra played like it was the third game of the eliminations. That was just the difference. But when it became time that it was urgent for Ginebra to play well, nagawa naman nila
Japet Aguilar is a monster. I'm telling you, this guy is insane. I will be the first one to say that Slam Radio PH criticized the living daylights out of Japet from the beginning.
We
fucked him up.
You know, last year, I think we ranked him at like 90 plus.
Yeah.
70 to 90, somewhere that range.
It's...
right now, he can be like this.
He's the number 1 or number 2 player in the league. Right
yeah, but in terms of being the best player in the league, he might be like sure in the top 5.
Easily.
And you know what? I think, and I've been trying to find the words to put it down. I've written like 3 or 4 drafts on this, trying to really put it down. How Japet is a different person. How if you know how in the NBA, the writers, they always say that winning fixes everything, winning solves everything. I think that's what Japet has done. I mean, we seem to forget that this is the guy that we all made fun of, not only because he was crazy enough to think he could make the
First
NBA.
of all, we put Japet at 33.
At 33.
33.
Which is still a shame now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to see. Yeah, Chris Ross is ahead of him again.
Damn it, Ross. But, I mean, Japet, he has literally turned himself from zero to hero. He was at the very bottom of people's consciousness when it came to basketball.
Yes.
No one wanted to touch this guy. No one. Talk and Text could not have gotten rid of him any quicker. And were as happy as they could be to get rid of Japet. Like, hey, Japet, fuck. Get him out, right? And then Coach Chot, for some reason, the same guy who couldn't make him work in Talk and Text said, "Nah, you know what? He'll work in Gilas. He'll work in Gilas." And when he got into the Gilas lineup, I swear to you, my reaction was, "Tang inang Japet. The fuck is he doing there? Why is he there?" I wanted a Junmar. I wanted an Arwind. Fuck, if someone told me Calvin was supposed to be there, I would have probably gone, you know what? Maybe we should.
Yeah.
Right? And I keep thinking, what if Sonny Thoss didn't get injured? Would Sonny have that Gilas spot? Maybe.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
But no, Japet came in there. We don't have a silver without Japet.
No.
We don't have a silver without
not.
Japet. And then Global Port, he was kind of okay, but we were like, then there it goes.
Again, I mean, we were talking about it a while ago with Calvin. There was more bad Japet than good Japet.
Right.
Yeah.
And we thought, nah, you know what? The whole Gilas thing, if he's not in that system, wala talaga yung Japet. He has to be around great players or whatever. In Ginebra, we had hope for Japet because, he's around great players. But we never thought he'd be the greatest of them all.
No.
And I think it's a really huge factor that the crowd is behind him.
Yeah. We were talking about this last week.
Yeah. And the mental toughness of a Japet Aguilar to go through all that criticism. And like what LA said when LA was here, the first day of training camp, unang practice, unang exhibition game, Japet had the mentality, I'm the star player, guys.
Yeah.
I can see LA, I can see Mark, I can see a fucking 7-footer right next to me, but I don't care. I'm the new franchise player. I'm the new star. Get me the ball. And he's lived up to it.
And he's doing fantastic, and that's why Ginebra was able to come away with the second game, and that's why they're moving on into the semifinals. We move on over now to 2 versus 7. Rain or Shine taking on who did they beat? Global Port.
Global Port.
That game was a long time ago. But to go back, one last thing for Alaska. The game that they lost to Ginebra, that was their 4th game in 7 days.
And it was what, their 3rd do or die?
Third. So, no. Yeah, 3rd.
Yeah, do or die.
Yeah, so
that's too much to ask.
It's just too much. Rain or Shine versus Global Port. I called it that Rain or Shine would win in 2. That didn't happen. Nico called it in 1. So did Judd. Yeah, and so did Robbie. So they're right and I'm wrong. I actually got, I think, all of them wrong. I got all of them wrong. So your thoughts on Rain or Shine? This team has yet to lose. That's now 8 in a row.
8 in a row, right?
8 in a row. They go into the semis with an 8-0 run. Taking down Global Port without Jeff Chan, but of course Global Port not having Jay Wash. That was a big blow to them. This might be the last time we see some of the players on Global Port.
What do you know?
I know that Coach Pido Arencio is on his way to becoming the head coach.
That is true.
That is true.
Of Global Port.
Of Global Port. So, sorry, UST.
Sorry,
what?
Velvet
But
Touch.
I thought Richie Dixon was doing a really, really good job.
I think Richie was doing okay. Yeah.
I mean, going into the Philippine Cup, I thought Global Port would be at least in the 9th or 10th. I was pegging them
I called them in.
at
I was the only one that
10th
said they
place.
were going to make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
that's true.
Yeah.
But I think the way he blended in, the way he allowed Romeo and Garcia to be themselves, and infuse that youth with the leadership of Mercado and Jay Washington was great. I mean, if a player like Romeo is going to the PBA, you'd have to think that a coach will try to like limit his touches in a way, like parang ilalagay niya sa system eh. Pero I think Richie Dixon realized that's not, kind of like Russell Westbrook. You let him be himself to para makuha yung the best out of this player.
My thing for Global Port is, I mean, yes, it is impressive that they made it as far as they did, and yes, it is impressive that they let RR be RR and Terence be Terence, and at the same time maintain Sol and J-Wash and all these things.
RJ pointed it out off of Twitter. He says it was the 4th do-or-die game for Alaska. Barako, last day.
Yeah.
They needed to win that. Meralco knocked out game 1, game 2. Okay,
True.
Go back. Thanks, RJ.
But I think for Global Port, something has to stop happening for this franchise to start winning consistently. They have to stop changing everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
At every fucking turn.
Exactly.
And to think that this team is really good at pulling off trades. I mean, I am honestly, I will look at this team and I'll say, you know what? If there's a team that knows how to do trades and get good pieces out of a lot of bad pieces that you have, this team totally surpassed Air 21 in making this, doing the right trades. I mean, they got Sol, they got J-Wash, they got, they got rid of players that they didn't really need. They cut ties that were bad for them. Now they're gonna do it again. I mean, they got rid of Willie, they got rid of Gary, players that they knew that they could dispense of and get.
They got rid of
quality
Bakuli.
talent. They got rid of Bakuli. Now they're planning on revamping the whole thing again. This team needs to just say, you know what, we have a core, let's keep it, let's move forward.
Especially if it's a core that likes each other.
And like the way Rain or Shine did.
Right. I mean, they didn't win right away.
No, they didn't.
I mean, they hung with Gabe and the Matiases and the Belgas and Jaire and Jeff before anyone thought that Jeff was a top caliber player.
I mean, Wellcoat was what? Wellcoat or Rain and Shine was 1-13.
They were Air 21
in their first conference.
Yeah.
And just what Nico said, they just stuck it out. Like, parang OKC, diba?
And exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think if you're a small market team, and they exist in the PBA as well, you have your Lina teams and Global Port, and to some extent maybe even Alaska.
Yes.
Barako. Yeah, Barako, Air 21. Yeah, Alaska, maybe.
Global Port, and then maybe Alaska.
No, I would say Meralco more than Alaska.
Sure, them also. You have to stick with your core. You're not going to win right away.
Yeah.
You're not going to make one trade and then that's going to be a championship. I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, I know it's very tempting to bring in Pido.
Yes.
Because if I'm a PBA fan and I can have Pido coach my team, I do it because it's fun, right?
Yes.
But it's first of all, it's unfair to Coach Richie because he did, a very solid job at least. And this is a core that likes each other. We saw the bromance between Sol and Terence.
Yes.
And that was the combustible part of the relationship. We all thought there's no way that you're going to give Terence and RR the minutes they need.
Yes.
And at the same time, keep Sol happy. But we saw Sol and he was like, fuck it, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
He's my boys. And then J-Wash is... If J-Wash didn't get hurt, they could have done some damage.
Yeah.
If J-Wash didn't get hurt, they could have been...
They would have been in the 6th spot.
in like They could have been in the fourth.
Yeah.
The way TNT was losing, they
Yeah.
could have been in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a best of 3, and then who knows what happens,
Yes.
diba? I'm saying, okay, fine, you've already brought in Pido. You take the same team, you give them the right import, and then you take them to the next conference. I don't see why they're not a better team.
And to think that Pido is coming off of college coaching, you give him a team with a lot of college players.
Yeah.
That should work. I mean, he knows how to coach these kids. He's coached against Terrence and RR for what? RR for 4 years, Terrence for 3. Nico Salva for 5 years. He's seen every single move. Keep the core. Please, Global Port. Yo, keep the core.
Come on, man.
You gotta get it together.
Gotta keep this shit. Justin Chua,
This is a fun team.
keep this shit.
You guys got nice colors.
I know. And we want to see the camo print.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
That would be nice.
Damn it. So that is our plea to Global Port.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around with it, please.
Sure, you could trade. I mean, there are a couple of people there that you could trade and you
Yes.
could upgrade.
Yes. I'm
But
not saying that they can't make. We're not saying that you can't make your team better.
Right.
But keep the core.
Yeah, I mean, don't blow it up again.
Who would you keep? 3 players. Who is? If you had a 3-player core on this team, who's your core?
Jay Wash, Sol, Terrence.
Yeah, I'm right on board with
So
it.
you'd trade RR. If there was a good offer, you'd trade RR.
I guess so. Yeah. If I really had to.
No, like, would you do if like, for instance, you need to shore up your power forward position just in case Jay Wash goes down again, and I know a team that's looking for a point guard and they're not sure if they have the right one. Would you do a Sean Anthony for R. Garcia, the Air 21?
You know what? I like that trade.
Right?
I think Global Port needs someone like a Sean Anthony na professional, works his ass off, gives 100% in all of the possessions. I think he'd fit in well with the team. But I'm not sure if Global Port wants to let R go.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a fair trade, but I think as long as it's a one and done. It's like we're shipping out a player and a pick, or 2 of these rotation players we have. Because if you think about it, 1 through 5, they don't really have a lot of players that they need to upgrade on.
No, not
so
really.
much.
Yeah.
Because Terrence and RR, they're solid. Sol is a top caliber
Maybe John Dunn.
point guard. Yeah, I mean, John Dunn coming off the bench, maybe you can need a little help, because Nabong is emerging as a really solid center for Global Port. And then you have Jay Wash playing like Jay Wash again.
Yeah.
Before he went down, Jay Wash was beasting.
Jay Wash is MVP.
Absolutely.
If he was winning.
Absolutely.
20 and
20 and
12,
10? Yeah,
11, something
Yeah, I mean,
like
this
that.
whole Global Port campaign, it's just dampened
Yeah.
because their losses came in a streak.
Yeah.
They had what, like they won, they lost, like a 3-game winning streak. Then they lost like what, 5 in a row,
Yeah.
6 in a row, and then they won again. I mean, if they had the same record, pero salitan yung panalo at talo,
Okay lang.
it wouldn't look so bad. It wouldn't look so bad.
Okay. But Rain or Shine, the hottest team. I mean, there's really nothing much to talk about with Rain or Shine in that series. They just killed it. I mean, it's Rain or Shine did. You did you. You did you.
Yeah, I think Rain or Shine is no longer baby talk and text.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I think people are looking at Rain or Shine and are saying we gotta be like them now, as opposed to them looking at talk and text, asking themselves, what do we gotta do to get to that level? I think they're there now.
Off of Twitter, let's read out what some of the people are saying here.
What up?
Of course, you guys can hit us up on Twitter. It says there on the bottom, at Aaron Atayde, at Nico RMS, and of course at the real Robbie Raya. Coming from Enrique. Enrique says, ang dami nilang coaching changes, ang dami pa rin kulang. And it better work with Coach Pido coaching Global Port, because if not, sayang naman. And people asking for continuity with the team. Of course, that's
true.
exactly. I mean, that's all we want to see.
That's right.
Continuity.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. 3 and 6 were Petron and Barako Bull.
No Barako news.
No Barako news.
No Barako news.
How many trades?
For
How many trades
Barako.
will Barako make off season?
No, I'm basing Barako trades on assessing how complete the SMC teams are. I mean, I look at I look at Petron. This team is solid. Wag mo nang galawin. I look at Ginebra. Okay na eh. Nandyan na kayo. I look at SMC, who's the San Mig Super Coffee Mixers, who's playing really well. Kung may kulang sa San Mig, baka pwedeng big man eh. And I don't think you can get like...
Or a 3 guy.
A 3 guy
like Intal.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like, would Coach Tim Cohn be so against having JC again right now? The way JC's playing.
JC's playing fantastic
JC's
basketball.
Balling.
He was my pick for most improved player so far.
I don't know who I picked, but I might abandon my pick and side bet on yours.
Yeah, because I mean he's playing fantastic basketball, but it just wasn't enough. I think that this might be one of Willie's last runs. Dorian played very good.
We got a seat for you here, Willie.
Oh, Willie, you can join us on Slam Radio
Willie boy.
anytime.
Oh, Willie boy.
Oh, anytime. Petron Junmar is back. Junmar, I mean, when he came back from his injury, he wasn't entirely there yet. I think now he's at about like a 95, maybe like a 90% of good Junmar. He will get to 100 by the time we get to the semis, which is later today, against Rain or Shine, and then we'll talk about that later on. But this is just Petron flexing their muscles once again, and it showed like a lot of players on Barako were from us, and we're showing you why you are not on us anymore.
But Barako played as well as they could.
Yes,
I mean in the first game,
they fought.
This team, hindi mo talaga matatawaran yung effort. Kahit anong sabihin mo, that this franchise is a disgrace to basketball.
You said that.
I said that.
Yeah.
Kahit sabihin mo na mas magaling ako sa GM niyan, na
You said that.
which probably is true. Hindi mo matatawaran yung effort ng players nila. I mean, that's when you're a coach and your GM is giving you these players na forgive me for using this word na parang latak ng ibang teams. I mean, Bong Ramos is doing as well as he could with what we have.
Yeah, I mean,
with what he has.
Think about it this way. Bong Ramos finished better than Raiko Torman.
Right. And he did a better job, too. I mean,
no offense to Coach Raiko.
Nobody loves
Raiko is a nice guy to me. I mean, never had any problems with him. But coaching record-wise, Coach Bong did better than what Coach Raiko did.
Because I think that the players that Bong Ramos had were more suited to what Bong Ramos was trying to do.
Yes.
As opposed to if you have Raiko as a coach, you got to get soldiers. You got to get straight-laced cadets playing for Raiko.
Parang
Torman.
TNT players.
Yeah, you need 12 Marshall Lassiters. Yeah.
JV,
Baroka, you really need those guys, playing and then buying into a system with the off seasons between conferences in the PBA is a joke. It's like a 2-week thing. I mean, you go to Boracay, you come back, may sunburn ka pa, may henna ka pa, naglalaro ka na ulit eh. So it was really tough for Raiko. But you're right. You have to, and we said this last week, you have to give credit to Bong. And second, Barako Bull, they don't have any young players probably aside from Carlo Lastimosa and Jeric Fortuna, who Coach Bong, you gotta play that kid.
Yeah,
you gotta play
that's
that
the only
kid.
one that's the only thing we would knock you on.
But I mean, they have re-emerged. They have given 3 or 4 players a chance to re-emerge. Dorian, Dorian's still big, right? But he lost a lot of weight, and he's in a lot better shape. Dorian, JC, who we all now love, and we rode JC for a while.
Yeah.
Denok, who is once again a starting caliber point guard in the PBA, and Ronjay, who lost some minutes because JC was playing so well, but Ronjay was playing really well. Yeah. So I mean, you have these 4 guys. I wouldn't be surprised if none of them made it back to Barako next conference because that's the Barako way.
Yeah.
Here is our best lineup of products. Take your pick.
It's a trade show.
It's a trade show.
Parang kayo na sa SMX. Here's our trade show. First contestant.
Tapos may mga girls pa na nakapula.
Yeah. So any
Basta naman yung EB Babes.
so any team that might get those 4 players, sulit kayo doon.
Oh. Hey. Okay. But out of the 4,
okay, out of the 4.
Out of the 4.
May alam ka eh.
Hindi, wala ko alam.
Daya mo eh.
Robbie, out of the 4, who will be traded first?
First hindi mo lang who will be traded eh. Alam mo talaga marami sa kanila yung matitrade.
Yeah, malay mo. Kasi we don't know, like maybe a couple of years from now, JC might get traded.
You know, I think Air 21 really needs a point guard. So I think Miranda would be
Yeah,
nice.
but that's Lina to Lina. That can't work.
That's true. So when you ask me that question, SMC would need a small forward, like because you look at how Tim Cone plays right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing his team the way the Pistons were back in the late 80s and the Rockets. He's playing 2 to 3
big.
guards at the time and 2 bigs. So just for his lineup to be more flexible, but I think the 3 guard lineup is really working well.
Yeah.
I think JC Ental would be nice wearing
So
that.
you'd go like Malyari for Ental?
Whew. Malyari for Ental. I'm not sure if Miyako would like that. But but I think JC. No. I'm gonna tell you honestly, I like Malyari as a player. If I'm Tim Cone, I'd be more patient with him. Kahit meron Justin Melton.
Because I'm loving just insanity, man. That's
quick
shit right
melt.
there. Quick
melt.
Yes.
Next,
yes.
galing I read that in interactive. I mean, next to the Slim Reaper, that nickname right now is the second hottest nickname.
Tangina, quick melt.
Yeah, quick
melt.
Quick melt is hot. But just to squeeze it in, the nickname I love now is Jalen Rose's nickname for Dwayne Wade.
What?
He says that if you buy a Miami Heat ticket, sometimes you see flash. Sometimes you see flashes. Just flashes of Dwayne Wade.
Okay, but going back, it will be you think
JC Ental, but I'm not letting go of Malyari.
Okay.
Not letting go of
Okay.
Malyari.
All right. Speaking of Malyari, let's head on into the 4th and final quarterfinals. The one that only one that went all 3 games.
Yeah. As it should have.
Yeah. You said San Mig in 3, right? Or you said Talking Tex in 3?
I think I said San Mig.
San
Yeah.
Mig in 3. Again, I got it wrong. You got it right.
Yes,
You said
in
San
3.
Mig in 3. It was San Mig Coffee winning over Talking Tex last night in an epic game. That was fantastic. Bravo. Good job to Talking Tex and San Mig Coffee for closing out the quarters with a statement game right there. Your thoughts on San Mig Coffee? Before we talk about Talking Text, does San Mig Coffee have enough from what has been taken out of them moving forward?
Against Ginebra or
Anyone, regardless of who it is.
I think Ginebra is a bad matchup for them.
Okay.
Precisely because Ginebra is the size advantage at the 4 and 5 spots is just gonna be the difference in this series. I think ang strength ng SMC is yung guards nila. It's what makes the triangle offense work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have guards who can pass and cut fast. In a series against Ginebra, I'm not sure if yung konting advantage nila, if they have an advantage with their guards, can compensate for yung nalulugi nila against Japet and Greg Slaughter.
Your thoughts though on the series though?
I think that it's a classico. I mean, we talked about this.
We'll talk about the quarters first
Oh, yeah.
before we
All
talk
right.
about the semis.
I think that the San Mig Coffee Talk and Text series, you're lucky enough that they got paired up. I think the Baraka is just out of his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, we seem to be saying this whether on the podcast
2012 and 4
on natural conversations, but Baraka is just a bad man right now.
Yeah.
It's just pag nanood ka, kadiri yung ginagawa ni
right
Baraka
now.
sa
I
matchup.
take him over Casio.
You think he's the number 2 point guard in the PBA right now?
No, it's Castro, Tenorio.
And then Barox? Mercado?
No, meron pa palang Sol. So I'd put Sol at number 3.
So you have Barox at number 3. At number 4.
At number 4, yes.
No, if someone told me that Baraka was the top 2 point guard this Philippine Cup, I'd say yes.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
I mean,
Yeah.
historically in the PBA, sure. I mean, he drops off, but which point guard has performed well as consistently as he has the entire Philippine
On
Cup
both
on
ends
both ends
of the floor.
and we saw that this entire series.
Yun yung hindi nakikita ng fans
Yeah.
ng some of the fans of PBA. Yung defense is as important as the offense.
Yeah.
And when the same point, going back to my point a few episodes ago, na si Baroka para siyang he's making a case na parang Paul George na napapansin na yung ginagawa niya on defense, 'di ba?
Yeah. I think that San Mig Coffee won that series on heart. It came down to the heart in game number 3. Game 1 went to San Mig Coffee easily enough. The two best coaches in all of Philippine basketball chess match. Second game, Norman knew what to do. Third game, it was just a toss-up. It was all heart, and I think that's why it came down to Mark Pingras's 3-point play that closed that game for San Mig Coffee.
I think this series was a bad matchup for TNT. Kasi in the last few weeks of the eliminations, TNT lost like 3 in their last 4 games.
Yeah.
While San Mig Coffee was the hottest team outside Rain or Shine. So if TNT would have picked a team in the quarters na kakalabanin nila, definitely they wouldn't have picked a hot team like SMC.
All right, let's move forward and talk about the Talk and Text Tropang Texters. You don't see the fire in the eyes anymore.
No.
That's what I think.
Wala nang libog.
Wala nang libog. Wala nang libog.
Kailangan na nila ng very max.
Yes. I was talking to Robbie about this before you got here actually, and the way that I see Talk and Text is they are a long-term relationship.
Okay.
Okay? They are your friend. Every barkada has one eh. Diba? Yung dalawa sila, since high school, sila na. It's mga 7 years na. Wala na nangyayari. Diba? I mean, everything became routine. Di na sila nag-sex. Diba? Diba? And then, di na sila nag-aaway.
Di na yung nag-aaway.
Wala na eh. Ano eh, parang alam niyo na yung gagawin niyo eh. You know that they're gonna be there and you're gonna be here. Okay lang kayo eh. That's the way it is. And then, when you know, like last night when Ping scored, it was a 3-point play, they didn't even get mad. They didn't get mad at each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, they need, wala na talaga yung libog. Wala na yung spark sa relationship. That's why I think that it might be time to blow up the team. Or at least shake it up in a way just to change the dynamic a little bit.
I think that Talk and Text has come to a point where you're right. I mean, they have to be less sentimental about the team because they got away and they did it extremely well by taking care of the family and at the same time winning championships.
Yes.
Right? But as of right now, some members of that family, and I'm talking about the core. And when you talk about Talk and Text, the core is Jimmy and Jason, and Larry and RDO, and Ali and Kelly. Right? And Harvey.
Yes.
Sure. Right? I mean, those, 7 guys? Those 7 guys, they're the TNT core. Before, it was advantageous if you kept the family, to take care of these 7 guys, keep them, find a way to not lose any of them, you still won a championship. Now, if you want to get here, you might not be able to bring all.
Yes.
If you want to go on vacation again, you might not be able to afford to bring the
Yes.
entire family.
Yes.
So pick which your favorite kids are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to come down to that. Sino yung paborito mong anak dito, yun
Yun
na
na.
lang yung masasama mo sa vacation.
And I know it's gonna sound really, really weird, but I really think that the one person that was giving this team yung libog nila was Coach Chot.
Yeah.
Coach Chot was the one that brought in drama. You know, drama in terms of how he was handling the conversations with the other teams, post-game conferences, fighting the referees. You know, there was just so much charisma that came with Coach Chot that you just don't see with Norman. I'm not saying that Norman is a bad coach. I still think Coach Norman is, if not the best, like if not top 2, the best basketball mind and basketball coach in the entire country. But it might just, I mean, this team does not need, you know, that straightforward coach. I think they need Pingris. They need Calvin. They need a monkey wrench in their system just to fuck everything up again, and everybody be like, "Shit, wait, what's happening?"
Yeah, and I'm completely on board with this. I left out Ryan Reyes as the
course.
8th kid, but yeah, I think if the question while I was watching the game, while I was watching them lose last night, I was like, if Chot was here, is this TNT team as bad as they are? Because they were a bad team this tournament. And we love our Talkatex guys.
They've been bad for 2 conferences.
Right, that's true.
They've been
That's
bad
true.
for 2 conferences.
I mean, and I'm looking at it and I was like, okay, it's not a health thing anymore. It's not a Gilas hangover anymore. This team has been bad.
Yes.
And it's not even we're used to the talk and text excellence and they're just scratching very good. No, they've been bad. Some outings, you look at them, they've been a horrible team on the floor. And there are telltale signs. One, they never draft.
Yes.
And second of all, they never draft a risk, which is what they did with Poligrates, right? And they drafted a risk and they traded him away, sure. Second, you don't do a panic trade. Talk and text never.
Yeah.
They never panic. They never trade, to be frank,
Yeah.
and they never panic trade day before the postseason and get a KG Canaleta. So when I saw that, I was like, I'm not sure Chot to do that.
No.
Yes.
And I think Norman was forced to do it. And I hate to compare, but I was like, I don't think Chot would be put in a situation where he'd be forced to do that.
Yeah.
And it's not Norman's fault
No,
because
it's
you're
not.
right.
Yeah.
This is just Chot's team.
Yes.
And he knows, I mean, if they're in a long-term relationship, Chot is the out of town. Chot is the vacation. Chot is the guy who knows the babysitter's number and who has a discount card. He can get a leave
Discount
anytime.
card saan?
And he can get a discount card at like some hotel.
Yung dyan lang
Yeah,
sa...
no, like I'm talking about a fancy resort somewhere. Itatagaytay ka niyan, and you're like there, and you're like, baby, forget about the kids and the taxes and the bills.
Parang
Just you and me.
Mas may adventure, mas may flavor.
May spontaneity.
You know,
Kumbaga.
like every therapist who says you need to reignite the flame in your relationship.
That's Chot.
That's Chot.
Yes.
Chot is the reignition. He's the fucking flame.
Oo.
And he knows how to push the buttons. He
Yun.
knows how to keep you going. Alam niya kung paano ka karinyohin, ganyan. And Norman, he'll pay the bills on time.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
pick up the kids. He'll do their homework. But it's not... There's no fire.
Yeah.
There's no fire there.
And the thing is, kasi, I mean, Norman, the way I believe it is that it works. I mean, Norman works. I mean, let's be honest. You don't win 5 championships in the UAP if you're not a good coach. He is a multi-PBA.
He's a Grand Slam coach.
Exactly. It's not him. I mean, we're not saying that Norman is a bad coach. It's just the way that the team is set up and the way that Norman is. I think it's too calm.
It's
too calm.
not a good fit. Yeah.
It's too much of a good fit.
Right.
That they're the same.
They're complacent.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
You
So-
know what? I've seen Norman lose it.
Yes.
And we're not saying that Norman is doomed here.
Yes.
I just want to see Norman lose it.
Yeah.
I've seen him wreck almost a monoblock chair in the UAAP.
Yeah.
I want to see that again. I want to see him piss, and I want to see him get in Jimmy's face. I want to see him get in RDO's face because Chot would.
Or call out the referee.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or call out Ryan Reyes when
Yeah.
Ryan. I mean, you know how? Remember that series where Chot said, "Oh, we lost because Ryan Reyes is missing from this series." I want to see Norman do that because I think that's what Talk and Text needs. Is that they've always been good, but much like any teams, and you see it with the Miami Heat, is that they plateau, they cruise sometimes, and Chot would never allow that because he'd call them out. And I think Talk and Text needs to be called out. And I don't know if it's too late now, and I don't know if it's maybe the right decision, like you said, to maybe say, you know what, this is the end of the era. We just got to go with our favorite kids.
You know what? On top of Chotres being a better motivational speaker, I think he brought in a better system for his players. When Norman Black came in, it was really noticeable that Talk and Text played slower, and with a team like Talk and Text that's like 10 deep, you need a lot of balls to be shared by the players. And how
Share your balls.
Share your balls, man. And how do you do that? You play a really fast pace.
Drive and dish.
Yes. And looking at the Talk and Text players, I think Chot's system was a better fit for them.
Yeah, and Norman came in and said, you know, he was going to try and keep most of the drive and dish, but he was going to, in order for them to win, and they did win a championship under Norman. Let's not take that away from him. But they had to be an elite defensive team.
To put into perspective, the one and only championship that Coach Norman has with Talk and Text is the first conference.
Yeah.
So that might still be some Chot hangover.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? They're not an elite defensive team.
Not anymore.
Who, apart from Ryan Reyes, who would you say is an elite defender on Talk and Text now?
Fauna, that would probably be as far as I would go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelly's not swatting shots the way he used to. I mean, he's not really on the floor a lot. Ali was on the reserve list a lot of time this conference as
Probably
well.
Noi.
I mean, Noi tried his best, but they weren't elite.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Would you blow it up? To what extent?
I would lose some of the favorite kids. I would do that. I would really throw, like, because who's tradable? I mean, no matter how drastic you don't get rid of Jimmy.
No,
because that would be just a total shame. That'd be like
it's like trading Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but I'd maybe throw Ryan's name out there because Ryan is. This is a compliment to Ryan.
Yes,
he's effective anywhere.
Yeah,
he would be effective anywhere. I'd throw Ryan's name out there. I'd see.
Would you trade RDO?
I'd see what people were to offer. I'd test the waters with RDO, but I think Fonacher, Jimmy, Castro, and De Ocampo should be immune.
Yes.
I think you try to see what you can get from Kelly and from Ali and from Ryan Reyes and maybe Harvey Carey and see if that's enough. And you have your complementary pieces as well.
KG.
With KG, with
Jai Reyes.
Bacalao, with Jai Reyes. Who knows? And who knows?
All right. And that will do it for your quarters recap. We almost did an hour just on that. So we have one more thing to talk about before we do your really short semis preview. Flagrant fouls is a very big thing in the quarterfinals. There were a shitload of flagrant fouls.
Yeah.
By everyone. On everyone. It was getting a little weird. A lot of people were reacting to it. Mark Aguiwa got two flagrant ones. Calvin got two. Rafi got his. So did there were a couple more. I can't
How much did Kagiwa get for
5,000?
Right.
So he was like, "Fuck, I'll send another one."
See, that's what's wrong with it. Whoever is looking at the tapes, and it might be Kumish.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, if you're gonna give Gary David 5,000 penalty for just doing this, and for all you know, he just might be raising his arms
To stretch
to to stretch, and you give Gary David 5,000 for just doing this, and you give Mark Aguiwa the same thing for an obvious flagrant foul na in NBA standards would be on just one review would be a flagrant 2 and might be a 1 or 2 game suspension. You just give him 5,000 for that? That's screwed up.
Yeah, I think I'm with Robbie on this. First of all, I don't want to see a flagrant 2 in the playoffs.
Yes.
I don't want to see a flagrant 2 unless someone very clearly throws a punch.
Yes.
If it's not Nabong and Pingris level, it's a flagrant 1.
It's a flagrant 1.
Yeah, if they tried to mask it, no matter how stupid it was,
Yeah.
Mark, oh my God, I fell, boom. If they tried to hide it, flagrant 1 lang yan. But go heavy on the fine.
Yan.
Go heavy on the fine. Right? Because we talked about this to much extent here on the podcast, that Philippine basketball is supposed to not be pleasant.
Yes.
If you're playing it, you're supposed to go home aching.
That's true.
That's the brand. And that's why we love the quarters.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so much fun to watch, right? Because they did that. But you got to protect your players. You got to make sure that the players who are hitting don't feel like they can just do it.
Yes.
So make them feel it in their wallets.
Yes.
Like, go heavy on the fine.
I mean, what's 5,000? That's less than a pair of Jordan.
Hey, that's a good investment. I think I agree. I love the physicality that we saw in the quarterfinals. I love that we saw flagrant fouls left and right, because that means that these guys they really wanted to win. I just think that, hey, if you're gonna find someone, make it hurt.
Yeah.
Make it hurt.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not gonna find him and make it hurt, don't find him.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna make him think, ganun
lang
lang
pala
pala
eh.
eh. Ganun pala eh. Okay na yun. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I think that if you wanted to send a message, I think that would have been a perfect time. I mean, you have the marquee player of the league.
How much would you have?
Oh, ito na tayo. Oh, Showtime Horado time!
Showtime, Horado!
Okay. So, sa akin, Mark, gusto ko yung performance mo. Ang ganda na yung bagsak.
Sample. Ay, wala time sa sample. Wala po tayong time sa sample.
Pero dahil dyan, ang score mo ay no suspension, 25,000 peso fine. Yay!
Mark. Mark. Mark, una, gusto ko sabihin, na natutuwa ako na matagal ka ng contestant dito sa Showtime, no? Ang dahil mo nang napagdaanan, paiba-iba parati yung mga look mo. Gusto ko na naging consistent ka na ngayon dito sa kalbo tsaka headband, no? Gusto ko yung outfit, ganyan. Tsaka Mark, gusto ko na dahil nandito na tayo, monthly finals na, talagang sumi-step up ka, no? Nag-i-improve. Yung paghulog mo, maganda yung form. Kasi yung dulong pagbagsak, nakita ko talaga nandun yung force. Kaya lang, siguro meron pang ibang opportunity na hindi masyadong nahalata. Hindi nahalata yung pagkahulog mo. Kasi Mark, wala namang tumulak sa'yo eh. Pero nagustuhan ko pa rin. Nagustuhan ko na-accomplish mo naman yung gusto mo. So, ito yung score mo. No suspension. Tapos, 20,000 pesos.
Alam mo, Mark, lihis sa sinasabi nitong dalawang to. Palagay ko, ang sama talaga nung execution nung routine mo eh. Kasi hindi ko talaga alam kung nag-acting lessons ka ba o may multong tumulak sa'yo. Pero yung hindi talaga eh. Parang hindi ko alam kung anong ibig sabihin nun. Kung anong ginagawa mo, kung anong dance step yan eh. Pero dapat some way natago mo kahit papaano eh. Pero dahil hindi, ang score na ibibigay ko sa'yo ay 50,000 pesos. I would have wanted to give a suspension, pero dahil PBA playoffs,
monthly finals.
Dahil monthly finals, 50,000 pesos.
Okay. All right, let's head on into your two semifinals. We'll make this as quick as possible, but we will make sure that we go through everything.
Can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, we might be, what might be in store for us could quite possibly be the greatest semis
Yes.
in recent
Yes.
history
Yes.
of the PBA. Yes!
Well done. 3 SMC teams in and rain or shine. I don't remember the last time we had 3 SMC teams. Were they 3 in the semis in the last conference?
Probably not. I would bet against it.
I don't know. But yeah, it is Petron versus Rain or Shine. So we'll start with that one. The team that started the Philippine conference, Philippine Cup conference with 7 in a row, taking on the team that ended the Philippine Cup conference with 8 in a row. What will be the X factor in this?
You know what? I think Petron and if Petron is black, Rain or Shine is white. These teams are, and people might not see it. These teams are the complete opposite of like what each team stands for.
Okay.
Rain or Shine, all of their players average double digits in minutes, and that's amazing. They're a team that shouts balance, depth, equal distribution, equal opportunities. While Petron on the other side relies on its core, on its on Lutz, Lassiter, Cabagnot, Santos, and Fajardo, and those 5 players, they score 75 points a game, and basically a talented core versus a really really deep team, and this is what's nice about this series, no. Minsan you say a battle of styles. It's a battle of the makeup of the team.
I think that the one factor that's going to come down to it is who wins the series. Is Robbie's right. I don't even want Petron to play rain or shine basketball, in the sense that I don't want them to depend on like someone like Tubid or Deutschmann or Ross scoring Lanete 10 or 12 points, although those guys are very capable. If those 5 guys that Robbie mentioned, Alex, Marcio, Chris Lutz, Arwin, and Junmar, if they combine to get, what is it, the 75 points that they combine for, they're going to win. They're going to win. But if we see the Petron that we saw in the Governor's Cup finals, wherein nung nagkagipitan na, they went to Millsap and they went to Junmar, and everyone else stood
and that's
around.
Just it. Yeah.
They're dead. Because ito yung sakit ng Petron eh. Rain or shine will still be rain or shine. They will not change. All right? But that doesn't mean they're not beatable.
Yes.
If there's a team that can beat rain or shine, it's Petron.
Yes.
But those 5 guys have to be solid every game.
I think Gia Vanilla has to play championship barangay, last game of the barangay summer league type of game. Na ibabad mo na lahat. Ibabad mo na yung players mo first to fourth quarter, pahinga mo sila tig 1 minute, yun na yun. I think that's the way to beat Rain or Shine.
Yeah, you're because Rain or Shine, maliit lang yung drop off ng talent eh.
Yes, from the first to second to third to fourth to fifth, 5.
Petron naman, ang laki ng difference. Ang laki ng jump off. I mean, all with all respect to the entire bench of Petron, the jump off from Junmar to Doug is huge. The jump off from Arwin to Deutschmann is huge.
It's astronomical.
Exactly. The only positions na hindi ganun kalayo are the guard position, the wing positions. If you look at Lutz and Tubid, I mean, Lutz is still there. I mean, he's still better than Tubid, but Tubid, he can still fuck around and do some shit. Lassiter and I don't even know who they're
that's Lanete. Is their second 2 guard.
Yeah, kasi they have Ross playing the backup. Yeah, so that one medyo malayo. And then
pinakamalapit na yung Cabagnot and
Cabagnot and Ross.
We love you, Chris.
So that's why I look at it and I'm like, you have to see Junmar play 40 minutes. You have to see Arwin throw up maybe 39, 41 minutes. Babad kum babad. The problem that they're gonna have is if this series goes 7.
Pagod
yan.
Yeah,
Puta.
that's true.
And then you're gonna have Belga playing 22. You're gonna have Gabe and Jeff maybe playing in the 28, 29 area, and that's it. I could go 7 playing 29 minutes if I'm Gabe. Hell yeah, I'll do that all day.
Yeah, but I mean, but this is the reality that Petron has to live with. The bright side is those 5 players that you're going to ask to play 37 to 40 minutes per game, those are guys who are fit enough to play 37 to 40 minutes per game. Junmar getting a lot of rest. Arwind, Marcio and Lutz, they can play
48.
They can play 2 games back to back, 48 minutes each, no problem. Right? So they should be fine.
Yes.
And they should know by now that this is how they're going to win. It's not a knock on their bench guys. That's just how they play.
Yeah.
That's just how they play.
Who wins? Let's make a prediction right now.
I think this is tougher than the other series.
Who wins?
Fuck yeah, it's tougher.
I think I'd take Petron just because of the Junmar factor. And aside from that, wala na akong alam na sasabihin kasi wala ka talagang matulak kabigin with the 2 teams. I mean, pantay talaga ang you look at a huge advantage by Petron. Yun lang yung may distinct advantage between the 2 teams. Rain or shine, you look at this team, you look at their advantage when it comes to depth. But I'd go with Petron because they have the 2 best players in the series, in Santos and Fajardo.
So Petron in
6.
You know what? No.
That's a bold call.
Actually, with this series, it does. For me, I think no matter what you pick, it will make sense for some reason.
Yeah, you're both right and wrong with whatever pick.
You could say Rain or Shine could sweep this series, and I would say, that's kind of far-fetched, but it could happen.
No, anything you say is you're crazy, but it could happen.
Exactly.
I think it comes down to the decision game, last 2 minutes. Heads Petron.
Oh, ilang games?
Last game.
Yeah.
Last game, last 2 minutes. Decision game. Is it best to say Game 7?
Yeah.
Game 7. Petron the last 2 minutes just because it flipped out heads.
Okay.
That is my expert analysis.
Fantastic.
No, that's how razor thin
Yeah.
close. Without even kidding, that's how razor thin close this series is gonna be, and this is the series that I'm madly excited about.
You remember the Petron Talk and Text series of back in 2011?
So, 3-1.
Oh, yung every game was decided by one point. This might be it again.
This could be it. So we got Petron in 7, Petron in 6. James Velasquez was the one that actually did our series preview, and he says Rain or Shine in 7.
See, he's crazy, but he might be right.
You might be right. Petron. Wow, none of us pick Rain or Shine. We're fucked. I say Petron in 6. I think it'll come down to Junmar having like a 30-20 game. Somewhere there. And
I think he averages like around 25 and 15.
He plays well against.
At least.
Strangely, he plays well against Rain and Shine.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be Petron in 6. Nico has it as Petron in 7. And Robbie has it as Petron in 6. Now we move on over to Manila Clasico. Manila Clasico best of 7. I'll take that. I'll take that shit.
Anytime.
Will Mark Aguiwa finally learn how to score against Mig Coffee?
No. as much as
Who will have more points at the end of the series? Mark Aguiwa or James Yap?
I'd pick James Yap. James Yap.
Holy shit! I will take that bet.
Wow.
I'd take James Yap.
Pustahan.
Sige.
I will take that bet.
Sige.
Kagiwa ka.
I will go Mark Kagiwa. Kagiwa will have more points in this one.
Because at the end of the series.
Yeah,
at the end of the series.
Yeah, because James Yap will be checked by Chris Ellis. And Mark Kagiwa will be checked by who? James Yap?
Melton.
I take that bet. I will take that wager.
Bro, you're forgetting. James Yap is now an elite defender. You're forgetting that point, bro. Diyan ka nagkakamali.
Wait, there needs to be a consequence to
And
this.
I love James. I love James.
There needs to be a consequence. Something needs to happen.
Loser of this, because we're gonna need something to talk about
Yeah.
when
Tangina,
entering the
exciting
finals.
to, ah.
Does the podcast in drag?
What?
Nakadress.
Loser has to cross-dress on the podcast.
I'm fine by that.
Fucking lock it in.
Lock it in!
Oh shit.
If you see me wearing just Speedos, tangina, kaya yan.
Oh shit.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you are now witness to this. If Mark Aguiwa scores more points than James Yap, Robbie will have to do the show in a dress. If James Yap scores more points than Mark Aguiwa, Nico Ramos has to do the show in a dress.
Yapsters, I can't believe you are not on my side on this one.
Please.
And you are on Robbie's.
Yes.
Yapsters, I can't believe you're on my side.
What's the X factor in this series?
Baraka. I think it's if Mig Coffee wants to win, it's gonna be tough for them to win. I just gotta say it plainly. Obviously because of the big man, and Yancey's gonna see a lot of minutes in this one, sure. But I will tell you this: for every game that they win, it will be because of Mark Baraka. If Mig Coffee wins 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, or 4 games, the MVP of this series for them will be Baraka. Every single game that they win will be because of Mark Andy.
When you say X factor, it's really hindi mo ine-expect.
No, well, the one
The Slaughters, the Aguilars, and Tenorios are lock-ins. I think the one that has to step up for Ginebra in this series, I think, is Mac Barakael. I think kailangan niyang tapatan si Devance. And you see SMC playing small nowadays. Ginebra might need Barakael to produce some points at the post.
Yeah.
For Tim Cone to think twice of using that effective 2 to 3 guard lineup.
Nah, they're good. Mark gonna be backing up Melton. Mark's gonna be backing up fade away, drop step, floater.
I'm gonna have like a tally every single game, man. I'm gonna be like,
I think
shit.
James Sharp is a lock for double figures a night.
So is Mark.
Mark Aguiwa.
Oh my God, you're praising James. Yeah.
You see how Melton has been stroking it? Melton's gonna get a lot of shooting guard minutes.
Oh my God. So who wins Manila Classico? 7 games.
I got Ginebra in 6. I got Ginebra in 6 in one of the greatest semis we might see in a long time.
You know, I like bold stuff. I like being bold, so I'll go with Ginebra in 5.
Oh shit! But James will still
Score more than Kagiwa.
Wow.
Ginebra in 5.
I'm actually doing that game on Tuesday.
Oh really?
I will talk to Mark about this.
Madaya ka.
Yes. Can we please
Feel
have
free to tweet James.
Go ahead.
Sige ka.
Mahal na mahal ka nun.
Pumunta ka doon sa San Juan, doon sa tindahan niya ng Vespa. Tignan natin kung makapasok ka sa loob.
Oh no.
Wait, what was yours? Ginebra in
7.
Ginebra in 7.
Six.
Ginebra in 6. Ginebra in 5. San Mig in 6.
That's bold. That's bold right
We
there.
have all completely lost our minds today. At one point or another, we just got
San
ape
Mig
shit
in
on the
Can
podcast
you explain
today.
that a bit?
I think San Mig
He's
is.
gonna need to explain that a lot.
I think San Mig. I like this team right now. I like Ping. I like Baroka. I like Melton. I like that Malyari was slid to the small forward because he's really not effective in the point guard position.
Malyari or Melton has to guard
I
Mark.
think 7. I think 7-game series for Tim against Ato is in favor of Tim.
That's true.
That's true. That's
I mean, with all due respect to Ato, I think at some point it might be in game 3 or game 4 that Coach Tim finally finds a way to slow down Japet, and that will be the start of a lot of problems for Ginebra. So I say San. Why did I do this? Sandvik in 6. Hey, shit, I was wrong about everything anyway, so who gives a fuck, man?
There's nowhere to go but up now.
Exactly. We're not going to be doing who did you run into this week? We don't have enough time. I didn't see anybody.
I'm going to run into Robbie in a dress.
I ran into Robbie and he was with somebody in a dress. Yay, yay! Yay, yay! And that will do it for this episode
Shit,
of Slam Radio PH. This is fun.
Let's go, Bart!
Episode 36.
Let's go, James!
Peace!